Seattle area, and the reason I moved here was I got an opportunity to work at Microsoft via a contract, and that was many years ago. And once that contract ended, I started looking at other agencies to contract with, and pretty soon I knew most of the recruiters and agencies in Seattle. And after a while, they're like, you refer to a lot of people and you seem pretty good with databases. Have you ever considered recruiting? And so that's how I got into recruiting. And I started at Volt and moved on into corporate recruiting. I've done agency recruiting. I've done startup recruiting. So that's kind of how I got into it. A couple of things. I would recommend networking, building out your LinkedIn network, because that's going to really be where you're going to follow up to actually applying online. And it's super important that you understand that the majority of companies are going to require you to apply online. So make sure that you have your resume optimized for the keywords for each specific job. And that isn't as difficult as it sounds. You just need to go through the job description and make sure that the keywords that are under the requirements and the areas of focus that the position is going to be working on match what's on your resume. A lot more people are looking for remote jobs. And while remote jobs are definitely going to be here during COVID-19, I think there's a lot of belief that every company is going to be able to hire everyone remotely from anywhere after COVID-19 is over. And that actually is not necessarily possible unless the company already pays taxes in the states, all of the states or areas where they have offices. So here's the reason why. Every employer has to pay state income tax, they have to pay into workers' compensation, and they have to pay unemployment tax in every state. They have to have those set up to be able to employ someone in those states. So it's very, very rare for small companies to be able to shoulder the expense for that. So while it's probably realistic, if say you live in a big city, like say you live in LA and you want to move a little bit further east or further north, it's possible that you may be able to continue working for your employer, but you probably wouldn't be able to do that if you move to, say, Wisconsin, unless they have an office there or they're set up to do business there. When I'm putting together a post, it's because I've seen a lot of discussion about it on LinkedIn or online, or it's something new that, a new piece of information that's come across my desk. Usually it's based on trends that I've seen or someone's talking about. Like a lot of the most recent for the last 6 months, the most egregious one is, use our resume service so we can get you past the bots. And I'm like, there's no such thing as bots the way you're using them. And paying someone to optimize your resume for something that doesn't necessarily exist the way that they're using it is kind of a waste of money. And there's a lot of ways you can do things yourself where you don't have to pay a lot of money to have that done. First thing is I always use a few hashtags, because that's how people have their searches or their interests are set up. So, there's hashtag job search tips, hashtag resume tips, hashtag job strategy, hashtag salary negotiation, whatever the hashtag is. And then I always, if it's an article or something a little bit more lengthy, I always try and include an image, because I found that really, really grabs people's attention more. And so I always write like a really short, if it's an article or a posting, I'll put like a short synopsis just to kind of describe it. And it's the same synopsis I can use across all the social media channels like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. And then I just make sure I keep that short. And then when I get to the actual posting, I always make sure that there's information in it that is actionable, and I try and keep it something that people are going to learn about. So I have everything from, optimizing your resume to applying via applicant tracking system to job search strategies to a really in-depth salary negotiation piece. I have several on context on your resume. I mean, how you really need to provide context for what recruiters are looking for. So most of my content, I would say probably 90% is geared towards job seekers. And then I do sometimes have, I do sometimes put some articles up for, other recruiters or other people. And then there's like the 1% just personal interest, just to keep it real. Two things. People are reaching out to me about jobs that I don't recruit for, that are indicated on my profile that I don't recruit for them, because I have on my profile what I'm recruiting for, and also the fact that I don't have any entry level jobs, and it's mostly entry level career. And asking me about a job that I don't recruit for, and then asking me about something that I have no information on, is kind of self-defeating. So that's the first one. So make sure when you're reaching out to recruiters or hiring managers for that matter, that you're at least in the ballpark of what you're hoping to accomplish. So, reaching out to a software engineering manager at, say, Amazon, when you're actually looking for a product manager position, probably isn't going to get you anywhere. So that's the first thing I would recommend. And then the second thing, if you're using LinkedIn specifically for job searching, make sure that your LinkedIn profile is robust enough that it's going to elicit interest from recruiters and hiring managers. And what I mean by that is, in the about section, put a summary, say what you are, what you're looking for. Make sure that your title speaks to what you actually are doing. So even though I have Purple Squirrel Hunter as my brand, I still put in there senior technical recruiter, so you know actually what I do. And then when you get down to the meat of your LinkedIn profile, don't just have your title, your company, your title, and the dates. Put something in there, put something in that's going to actually entice me to want to look further. So tell me you're an administrative assistant, great, but tell me, like, do you concentrate more on calendaring? Do you concentrate more on, group admin activities? Do you do accounts receivable, accounts payable? What size is your company? So give a little bit of information. It doesn't have to be as long as what's on your resume, but you should definitely have the same salient points.